Hello everyone, and welcome to my Soap Twist 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hope, Liam, Kelly, and Douglas are excited about the wedding and tell Beth she rocked it. Liam praises his father and then canoodles with his wife. This week's burning questions. From the alcohol-fueled crossover we desperately need to General Hospital's undeniably weird Liz moment, plus, bold and beautiful's long-overdue return will grabs everyone's attention and raises a glass to his brother Liam and his lovely wife, Hope. The reception continues for some time until Beth takes the stage to thank everyone for their attendance. Kelly can see her father is happy, and Douglas enjoys seeing his mother smiling. Deke then talks on being present on his sister's special day. Cheers. I love you guys, Katie and Donna tell Hope, who represents the best of the Logan women and the daughter they never had. Deacon walks up and expresses his delight at having both of his children present. Thank goodness, they just caught the best portions of him. Bill steps up to explain why he looks up to his son, Liam. He encouraged him to make the changes that brought Katie back into his life. Brooke speaks next, expressing her love for her beautiful daughter. Congratulations. Bill and Deacon step aside to have a drink, chuckling and toasting to being family again. Brooke, Donna, and Katie, meantime, see Hope and Liam and boast that the Logan ladies always get their man. Liam gets everyone's attention and addresses the children before toasting his gorgeous bride. Hope gets her turn, which includes more gratitude and discussion of being a cohesive family. She cheers for her visitors, tears streaming down her cheeks. The cake is cut, and applause ensues. What happens to Ridge and Eric? Taylor informs Steffi that she has the rest of the day off, so they continue talking about Ridge's remorse over the retirement party he gave for Eric. They clarify that this was not a power grab, and wonder how their talk is going. Steffi thinks they can clear the air. Ridge apologizes to his father at Forrester, saying, "If you want to be here, be here. Let us finish this line together, okay?" Eric surprises him by shaking his head and stating, "No." Eric snarks about Ridge making the motion to welcome him back, but he's going to give retirement a shot. He was very proud of his latest collection, but having his son lead the business gives him much more. Forrester is also your legacy. Ridge is annoyed by Eric's retirement and encourages him to return if he so desires. Eric isn't sure what he wants, although he's had a lengthy career. The nicest part was that he did it with Ridge. Perhaps it is time for him to accomplish it on his own. Maybe it's time that Forrester is run by you and Brooke. What about Steffi, the co-CEO? Ridge now tries to persuade Eric to stay, while also emphasizing the need of treating his father with respect. Eric recalls his grandchild and assures his son that he is overjoyed with him and Steffi at the helm. Eric shares his pride in Ridge for taking the company into the future, and they both express their love. The final scene at Bill's house. Brooke can't believe her daughter is married. Never mind that it's the third or fourth time. Off in a corner, Bill informs Katie that the Spencer guys are winning in the romance department. He unexpectedly asks Katie to marry him tonight. The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, teaser video reveals that Bill Spencer's Don Diamont marriage proposal would wow Katie Logan, Heather Tom. Let's discuss what happens after Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Liam Spencer's, Scott Clifton, wedding ceremony. BNB just published a trailer featuring Liam and Hope's wedding, but the final segment of the film is a big bombshell. After an incredible day, Bill thinks that there is only one thing that could improve it, and he descends to one knee in front of Katie. Bill appears to be proposing after all of the wedding celebrations have concluded, so Katie should be caught off guard on Friday, December 12th. Bill may ask Katie to marry him as part of this week's cliffhanger, leaving viewers wondering what her response will be. Katie and Bill have only been back together for a short time, but she appears to be content and enthusiastic about their reunion. Katie is likely to accept Bill's proposal and soon find herself wearing his ring. Bill was overjoyed when Katie agreed to reconnect and move back into the Spencer home. This would only make their reunion more wonderful for Bill, so let's hope he gets his engagement wish. Katie and Bill may soon have some wonderful news to share with Liam, Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, Elector Forrester, Linnea Grace, and anybody else who is pulling for them as couple. Of course, Bill wants Katie to be his partner in everything, so it's understandable that he wants her to be his wife again. This may make it simpler for Katie to decide she belongs back at Spencer Publications as well. Katie's commitments to Bill bring them closer together and make them happier. Bill will be overjoyed if Katie chooses to return to Spencer and have a great wedding of her own shortly. According to the bold and the beautiful spoilers, Katie and Bill may soon celebrate a huge milestone in their relationship, so we'll keep you updated on what the future holds. According to the bold and the beautiful, BNB, spoilers on Friday, December 12th, Katie Logan, Heather Tom, will be surprised with an engagement when Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, proposes to her after the reception. Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Hope Logan Spencer, Annika Noel, are now officially married, so it's time to celebrate with a wonderful post-wedding party. There will be more speeches when Liam and Hope start their new life as husband and wife. On Friday's BNB episode, Hope and Liam will have a bottle of bubbly, so they'll toast with their guests and receive many well wishes. Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, will be a pleased papa as he continues to watch Hope on her special day. Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, settled down by the time she left Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig workplace. That may be wonderful news for Liam and Hope while their reception is still going on. Taylor advised Sheila to go home rather than disrupting the wedding festivities, so Sheila may eventually follow the doctor's suggestion. After the wedding reception, Bill will reflect on what a lovely time everyone had. Bill will be thrilled to be reunited with Katie and have nice family moments under his roof. Although Bill will be on cloud nine, he will hint at something that could make everything even better. Bill will eventually drop down on one knee and play up his desire to make Katie his wife again, so she will be caught aback by this marriage proposal surprise. Katie will undoubtedly be surprised when Bill extends his marriage proposal, but she may decide to accept. Katie's choice to surrender to a Bill reunion has worked so far, and she may decide to remarry Bill shortly. While Katie and Bill have a private engagement moment, Liam and Hope may also have a private time as they begin the rest of their wedding night alone. According to the bold and the beautiful spoilers, Hope and Liam will look forward to spending the rest of their lives together, so stay tuned for more information on their future. That evening, Bill Spencer's stately home buzzed with an electric excitement that only a long-awaited wedding could generate. Fairy lights twinkled across the vast lawn, throwing a pleasant glow on the tastefully set tables decorated with white roses and crystal champagne flutes. Laughter mixed with the soothing strains of a string quartet, and the air smelled of fresh blossoms and exquisite hors d'oeuvres. Hope Logan Spencer, gorgeous in her flowing white gown, stood arm in arm with her new husband, Liam Spencer, greeting their guests. It was their reunion, a remarriage that felt like a perfect ending for their troubled family. Beth, their younger daughter, raced between legs in her flower girl outfit, grinning as Kelly and Douglas chased her about. Hope's mother, Brooke Logan, watched from the sidelines, filled with both joy and disbelief. "I can't believe my little girl is married again," she said softly to her sister, Donna, who clasped her hand warmly. "And to Liam, no less. Third time's the charm, right? Or is it the fourth?" They exchanged a knowing laugh, the Logan sisters' link unshakable despite the craziness of their intertwined lives. Across the floor, in a calmer nook near the great fireplace, Bill Spencer approached Katie Logan. His eyes, as piercing and intense as ever, softened as they latched on hers. Katie, exquisite in a sleek emerald dress that emphasized her form, grinned up at him, still full of delight from the day. Their reconciliation had been gradual, stemming from mutual concerns about their son Will and the lasting influence of their past. Bill had changed, or so he claimed, inspired by Liam's unwavering devotion for Hope. "The Spencer men are cleaning up in the romance department tonight," Bill observed with his usual sneer, indicating to Liam and Hope as they cut their cake to shouts. Katie chuckled, putting her palms softly on his arm. But suddenly Bill's expression changed, becoming serious. He took her hands in his and led her a few steps away from the crowd. The noise of the reception disappeared as he went to one knee on the pristine marble floor. Katie's breath caught. Her eyes widened in surprise as Bill gazed up at her, vulnerability shining through his arrogant exterior. Katie Logan, he began, his voice steady but laced with emotion. You've been the love of my life through all the ups and downs, the mistakes and the redemptions. Seeing Liam and Hope commit to each other again, it reminded me how lucky I am to have you back in my life. I don't want to waste another moment. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife tonight? The room seemed to hush around them, though the celebration continued obliviously. Katie's palm rushed to her mouth, bringing tears to her eyes. Stun did not begin to cover it. They had resumed their romance gradually and cautiously after years of grief, betrayal, and divorce. Bill's infidelities, her health worries, and the persistent intervention of Brooke and the Forresters had all pulled them apart on multiple occasions. But here he was, proposing an immediate marriage, as if the magic of Hope and Liam's vows had sparked something in him. Bill, tonight, she said softly, her voice shaking. 1,000 thoughts raced through her head. Their son Will, who had been toasting happily just moments before, the family gathered here, and the logistics of everything. But beyond the astonishment lay a warmth, a glimmer of the passion that had always attracted her back to him. Bill nodded as his grip on her hand tightened. Why wait? We have everyone we love here. Beth could officiate again if we ask nicely, he teased lightly, his eyes begging for a yes. Meanwhile, across town at Forrester Creations, the mood was completely different, somber, packed with unresolved tension. The historic edifice, which is normally a hub of creative activity, was lifeless and echoing that evening. Ridge Forrester paced the design office, his thoughts drifting away from the wedding he had decided to skip. Guilt gnawed at him. He had planned what he believed to be a wonderful gesture, a surprise retirement party for his father, Eric, filled with tributes and celebrations. But it backfired catastrophically. Eric, the Forrester Empire's patriarch, felt caught off guard and pushed away, without consultation. Ridge had received a tip from security. Eric was inside the building. With his heart thumping, he made his way to the showroom, where the runway lights were dim. Eric Forrester, the legend, was sketching casually at a table surrounded by fabric swatches. His face, etched with experience and recent health problems, was tired but determined. Dad, Ridge murmured softly, warily approaching. If you want to be here, be here. He stopped, his voice full with remorse. I'm sorry. I made a mistake not talking to you first. Let's finish this line together, okay? Father and son, like always. Eric looked up, his eyes penetrating. Ridge yearned for reconciliation, the hug and forgiveness that would mend the divide. Eric shook his head slowly.
No.
Ridge froze. No. Eric dropped his pencil and stood with the dignity that had founded an empire. My pride was bruised, son. Deeply. You and Steffi decided my time was up without even asking me. But after thinking it over, I think I'll give retirement a try. He paused, noticing Ridge's surprise. My last collection was a triumph. And what gives me greater pleasure now is knowing that you're at the helm. Forrester Creations' legacy is your legacy. I have faith in you and Steffi. Ridge moaned, confused. But you're not saying it's permanent, right? Nobody's pushing you out. Eric smiled faintly, throwing a curveball in his steady delivery. I'm willing to see how it goes. Travel a bit. Spend time with Donna. But designing, it's in my blood. Who knows what the future holds? He placed a hand on Ridge's shoulder, fatherly love visible despite the sting. I love you, Ridge. I always will. They hugged, the moment bittersweet. Ridge left feeling both relieved and uneasy. Had he truly won? Or had Eric thrown him a curveball that would come back unexpectedly? Back at the reception, the toasting resumed. Will Spencer, Bill and Katie's son, raised his glass first. To my brother Liam and the beautiful Hope, may your love story keep writing happy chapters. The kids followed, Beth glowing over her parents' happiness, Kelly proud of her papa, and Douglas overjoyed at his mother's smile. Deke Sharp, Hope's half-brother, kept things light and emotional. Then Katie and Donna lauded Hope as the personification of Logan's strength. Deacon Sharp, ever the reformed rogue, expressed gratitude that his children inherited only his best qualities. Bill's toast was touching. Liam, you've inspired me more than you know. Your dedication caused changes in me that led Katie back home. Brooke finished with maternal pride and tears in her eyes. As the cake was cut and the dancing began, Bill's proposal remained in the air. Katie hadn't responded yet, her head whirling. She admired Bill's passion, ambition, and strong protection of his family. But trust had been damaged already. Was this an impulsive decision or the genuine deal? The night progressed, with visitors socializing under the stars. Steffi Forrester, who attended with Finn, spoke with Taylor about the Forrester drama. Dad is torn up about Granddad, but I hope they can work it out. Taylor nodded, ever the psychiatrist, recognizing deeper currents. Little did anyone know, seeds of great change were being planted. Eric's sketches are whispered about, as is his willingness to try new things. Rumors circulated that Bill, ever the entrepreneur, had huge intentions beyond publishing. Katie eventually drew Bill closer as the music slowed. "You caught me completely off guard," she said softly. "But seeing Hope and Liam, it reminds me that love deserves second, third chances." She looked at his face. "Yes, Bill. Let's do it tonight." The crowd exploded as Bill stood and passionately kissed her. Cheers broke out as Beth eagerly offered to administer a fast ceremony. Vows were exchanged quickly under the lights, with simple rings from Bill's pocket, cementing the deal. Katie Spencer appears once more. However, the surprises continued. As the new Mr. and Mrs. Spencer danced, Bill muttered promises for more. The following days would reveal his ultimate gift, her own fashion firm, a rival to Forrester's, possibly attracting unhappy talent such as Eric. In the world of Los Angeles fashion and family feuds, one wedding prompted another, and a forced retirement set up a potential revolution. Ridge would soon confront the consequences of his actions, as allegiances shifted and civilizations teetered. Hope and Liam returned to their suite, finally alone. "This feels right," Hope said softly, wrapped in his arms. Liam kissed her forehead. Forever this time. At Forrester, Eric packed up his designs, a gleam in his eye. Retirement? Perhaps. Perhaps a new starting elsewhere. Bill clutched Katie tightly, his empire blossoming in ways no one expected. The Spencers were on the rise, the Logans were empowered, and the Forresters had been put on notice. Love, ambition, and treachery were all sewn into the fabric of their life, as intricately as any couture gown. The drama was far from ended. The evening ended with genuine fireworks, courtesy to Bill's flair. Guests oohed and awed, but the true explosions were emotional and relational. Katie, who had remarried on a whim, had a wave of excitement mixed with anxiety. A fresh chapter, certainly. Eric, while driving home with Donna, expressed his conflicting thoughts. "I meant what I said to Ridge, but designing, I can't just stop." Donna smiled encouragingly. "Then don't. Whatever you decide, I'm with you." Steffi texted Ridge. Her dad was at the office. "Is everything okay?" Ridge answered. "We're good. He trusts me." But trust in their world was delicate. As dawn neared metaphorically for these characters, new partnerships emerged. Bill's present to Katie, a fully funded fashion house, would upend the industry. Are you recruiting Eric? If it did, it was a masterstroke. Thomas Forrester's homecoming threatened to complicate hope for the future. But that night, joy ruled. Two couples renewed their love, and families merged further. Katie looked at her ring, which was simple yet symbolic. "Mrs. Spencer again," she exclaimed. Bill grinned. And this time for good. The daring and the beautiful lived up to their namesake, navigating both hearts and headlines with equal passion. Years of history flashed past, Bill's sword necklace, Katie's heart transplant, and their numerous marriages and divorces. Hope and Liam squabbling, Steffi's rivalry. Yet here they were, making a new choice in love. The gathering continued into the early hours, with stories told and dances performed. Brooke approached Katie. "Welcome back to the family, officially." Katie laughed. "It's complicated as always," Deacon said, toasting the new pair impromptu. "To love's persistence." Laughter reverberated. Will hugged his parents. "This is fantastic." Even the children sensed the magic. As the visitors left, promises of breakfasts and meetings lingered. However, change lies at the heart of everything. Eric's curveball to Ridge, who cautiously accepted retirement, offered up new possibilities. Katie was taken aback by Bill's proposal, but her acceptance changed the course of events. In this universe, nothing remained static. Passions flared, empires battled, and hearts were repaired and broken. The story continued, thread by thread. The mansion gradually quieted down, and the lights dimmed. Hope and Liam, Bill and Katie, honeymoon vibes in shared accommodations. Ridge sits alone in the office, digesting his father's words. A new era is dawning. Fashion conflicts are brewing. Family relationships are strengthening and straining. For the time being, love is winning out. The end of one day marks the beginning of unending drama.